Hello. This is a reading from the book God Consciousness, Chapter 1, The Beginning of Consciousness. At the start of life, I gave you awareness of who you are. Then you were born into this world of your current human identity. I gave you what you call free will. And you have used this form of willpower to the best of your current ability. And so, now you are here at this stage of your personal and group evolution. And for some of you, life is hell on earth. And for some, it is a bit better than that, but not much. And for the rest, the remainder of humans, the experience is variations of much better, all the way to the very top of the heap of experiencers of awareness. For that is what you all are, anyway. You are experiencers of awareness. And to whatever degree of clarity and purpose you have going on in your current state of perception of consciousness. You are made up of vast storages of energy and are in fact very, very powerful. I have created you to support a very high level of consciousness in your current human bodies and with all of your awareness, too. You are literally capable of performing miracles of simplicity and able to use your linkage with my creative intelligence, with my life force, with my spirit, and your free will to get the job done, to make miracles happen. When we act in concert together, then you feel that deep connection with me. And we are very close to each other in your awareness. Oh, I am you for sure. All that is true. Yet you know quite well and good that I am often not experienced consciously by every human who is alive now and was alive before now. I want to tell you about how the whole thing works and what is real and what isn't, but it is so not possible to get you into that by using words. I can tell you some things, but the actual real deal is going to have to come to you through the experience of direct perception by way of entering into God consciousness. That is why this book is being written and distributed around the world in every language possible, and also put out there in audio format so you can hear this message from me to you. What I want is for each one of you to have permanent, conscious, telepathic, two-way personal communication with me, God, the all that is, and the source of that all that is. So, from my standpoint, this is a really big deal. At the beginning of your life, this life now, you had many options of experience of your awareness. In the primal state of innocence of being a baby, you had a chance to opt out and leave the body, leave the planet, and return to the creative womb of consciousness. You did not make this choice and have instead stuck around until this particular moment to come into contact with this knowledge as proposed to you in this book, on these pages, or in the words of this audio presentation, and you are seriously considering the proposal to deliberately and consciously unite your awareness with mine. I am God. Or, if you prefer, God. And I am that force and spirit, that cosmic consciousness, that awareness that is everywhere, in everything, at all times, in all conditions, all the time, in substance, in non-substance, whether you believe it or not. I am independent of your belief and acceptance. Nothing can change this state of affairs. It is perplexing, isn't it? Partly because of the age-old questions that come up in your mind about, if there is a God, why does God let all this horrible stuff happen? Some of you are fed up with the old chestnut about free will and self-determination, also that hilarious explanation of karma and all that excuse-laden nonsense about it being the will of God. I understand the dilemmas you face in regard to your suffering and torment, and the source of these outcomes, the fact of cruelty and random disasters, the fact of babies being born into terrible situations, the seeming cruelty of nature, of life, and the vacuum of space, the far stretches of the cosmos, and how small it makes you feel, how insignificant in the great scheme of things, as these scheme of things seem to appear. Some of you are sick to death of hearing or reading about the illusion of this physical creation, that it is in fact a dream state, or a illusion of Maya, or that the physical manifest creation is actually not real at all, and that it is only consciousness or spirit that is actually real, and even that is highly not known and seems to be more myth than reality. I understand all of these conditions of personal assessment you have had to make as you try to get through your daily life. The beginning of consciousness comes with the sense that you do, in fact, exist. That you are aware that you are aware. To what extent you are aware of being aware, that starting point, the starting place of whatever degree of self-awareness, well, that is individual and very personal, and it is different for each of you. I know that. We have to start somewhere, so we will start where you are, with the awareness that you currently have, the state of consciousness that you are actually in, as you perceive it. That or this is where you are, and that or this is where we, or as you may think of it, you, have to start. We, or you, if you prefer, have to start somewhere, and where you are is going to have to do. The moment you engage with me, the moment you undertake this part of the journey of consciousness, of awareness, there is a shifting into the new state. You are literally calling this new state to come into you, to start it with being born into you, through you, and so forth. In one way of looking at this, it is the beginning of real consciousness. So, if you are ready to begin, we will start with one simple technique of intercession. This is a very simple technique and might fool some of you into thinking it is really stupid and lame and useless and so on and so forth. You may have a reaction thought like, it just can't be that simple, or that will never work, or I've done all this before and it never worked. Yes, I do understand your reluctance. However, I am not asking you to believe or have faith or suspend this, or don't do that, or do not do this. What I am going to ask you to do is simply ask me for God consciousness. I want you to ask me for this to begin in you. I want you to ask in your mind as a simple thought form, saying the words silently in your mind. God, please come into my mind and speak to me in my mind, clearly, completely, unequivocally, now and for all time. Think this slowly, in succession, easily, quietly, in your own mind, silently, without moving your lips or tongue, in your own native spoken language, and do this 3 times, with a brief pause of a few seconds between each repetition. And hey, if you kind of blow it, don't get it quite right, or feel like you didn't quite get it right, or feel like a complete idiot doing it, or whatever comes up, I have a specific instruction for you. Don't worry about it because you've started, and that is what counts. As you journey through this time of personal growth into my consciousness, you will experience doubt about what you are experiencing. This is to be expected because it is not usual within your cultural perspective for ordinary people to have telepathic communication with God. It just is not actively encouraged, even in your temples. It is often thought to be a sign of mental illness. Yet this is the beginning of consciousness itself. I am the origin of consciousness. It all happens because of me, not you. It is me becoming aware of me. And yes, it is entirely selfish of me to do this to you, even though you are me. The trick here is that you think you are not me, and with good reason. Obviously you're not me. How could you be? To be me would mean you wouldn't be you anymore. But you are me, and I am you. Bit of a paradox, isn't it? Again, you are me, and I am you, but at the same time, you are not me, and I am not you. Or so it sometimes seems. Oh, sure, you can feel close to me, and even feel or think you are connected to me, but actually be me? Come on, God. Who are you kidding? God? I agree that the journey into God consciousness is very scary and quite intense. It has been said by some wise people that having God as your personal guru, dispeller of darkness, is not easy. And the God as guru thing can be merciless and mostly ends up in you being eaten alive by God. I have heard that being said by some wise people on your planet. I will not tell you that it is going to be easy breezy. There will be moments when you feel like throwing in the towel and giving up and just abandoning the whole deal. Who could possibly blame you? When you take this on, you can often feel quite alone and confused. The deal is quite simple. I will only ask you to do what you can do, what you can handle. I am not interested in breaking you or smashing you into God paste or destroying you or hurting you or guilting you out or making you suffer. You are already good at that. And if you are not a true expert at the whole self-hating deal, there are plenty of people, places, and things that can help you to become a real world-class expert on personal suffering. You will discover that I am ready to help you now. The support for your personal evolution is everywhere, as I am, and ready to be engaged for you now. And if you are ready, good, we begin again. And this time, if you stick with it, we will really and truly move on and get the integration and connection fully established. Are you ready?